Hello everyone. I am Krystal the Mystic, and we are back with a channeled message today. So, I have been having this, I guess, this phrase, this idea coming through my head. Undergoing transformation isn't an overnight thing. It's just not. And I think that's what Spirit wants me to talk about because it's come back to my mind like several times today. So I think that's what our message is today. And let's dial in here and see if there's anything else that Spirit wants me to share with this message. I am asking to connect to my guides, angels, ancestors, archangels, any other higher divine beings, gods, goddesses, and deities to please use me as a channel and messenger for any divine guidance or wisdom that my collective might be needing to hear through me today. Please allow me to speak clearly, hear clearly, feel clearly, and know clearly any divine guidance or wisdom that Spirit wants me to give today. Thank you. Undergoing transformation isn't an overnight thing. You might be putting a lot of pressure on yourself because you aren't seeing as much progress as you have been hoping to see. But in the long term of events, like it's going to look like an overnight transformation to the world. But that doesn't mean that the actual journey that you take to transform is going to be an overnight thing. You're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to take the small steps, the big steps. You're going to have to be scared a little sometimes. And that none of that should diminish anything that you experience on your journey, because all of this transformation is not, it's not a, I know it might look like a beautiful thing in the end, but there's a lot of shedding and unlearning and relearning and all these things that happen in this transformation journey. It's not like it's a two-step thing. It doesn't happen in one night. And I think Spirit, because they view time in such a different way than we do here physically on earth, that's part of the reason why we have this expectation, this need, this almost sense of limitation, because we see things uh, as a in linear form, but that doesn't mean that that's what life is, and that's not how life goes. And I don't think Spirit wants you to shame yourself if you have like moments of doubt or moments where you need to reframe or rework things, because that's what this journey is. If you think about how a butterfly becomes a butterfly, they are a caterpillar first. And they do their thing as a caterpillar, and then they have to form their cocoon. They have to build that. They have to give themselves time. That doesn't happen overnight. And if you are trying to become a butterfly of yourself, you have to give yourself the time, the patience, and the ability to actually grow, instead of potentially micromanaging or hyperfixating or having these perfectionist kind of ways about this. Because when we look at ourselves, I think we do a lot of the times look at ourselves under a microscope. And you don't need to do that. If you don't do that, if you don't, especially if you don't allow yourself to do that to other people, you should definitely not be doing that to yourself. And if you have this mindset of being forgiving and showing grace to other people and compassion, then the practice needs to start happening for you doing that for yourself too, actively, openly, out loud, sometimes even. That's what helped me. Because every step of your journey is valid, no matter what it looks like. And it's not going to look like everybody else's. In fact, I'm sure it won't. But that doesn't mean that you aren't in the right place at the right time doing the right thing. Even if that's resting, you don't have to. I'm hearing the word lazy, 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 lazy. That's what made me stop my tracks there. And I think Spirit is saying that, like, when you aren't doing, or how do they want me to say this? When you aren't doing, it's almost like you tell yourself, "Oh, I'm being lazy. I'm not doing enough. I'm not getting there. I'm putting myself off. I'm putting my journey off." Like, do you have a habit of telling yourself or shaming yourself into thinking you're not doing enough? Because that might be also something you need to focus on at this time. Undergoing transformation isn't an overnight thing. You're not going to see the results that you hope for. Like, it's like working out. When you start exercising, you can't look at yourself in 2 weeks and see results. They say in for yourself, you see results in 8 weeks. Other people notice it in 10 weeks, and then you start physically feeling it in 12, or it's something along those lines. But that is still several weeks. You still have to put in time. You still have to put in the reps. And yes, you don't have to go every day. Yes, you don't have to dedicate yourself in the way other people do. You have to do what works for you. And you have to find that groove within this time. And I don't want to say have to, but I'm sure that you will, because you're doing things your own way by your own definition of it, not by other people's. And that might be where the confusion is at here, because maybe, I don't want to say maybe you rely on how other people direct you. Ooh, the air bubble in my throat when I said that. Maybe you have lived by certain people's ideas and best interest for you, and now you're starting to reclaim that back and say, hey, like, that doesn't actually make me happy. How can I make a life that makes me happy? And that's a beautiful thing. You should be able to do that. You should live a life that feels authentic to you. And maybe that's the transformation you're undergoing at this time, is allowing you a space to feel authentic, to feel true, to feel honest, and allow yourself to take up room, allow yourself to shine your light. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself to hit a certain number, to do a certain thing. And just allow yourself to do things because you want to do them. Because allowing yourself to do the things you want to do, there's always going to be things that we don't want to do, guys. Like, I'm not saying only do things you want to do. Like, unfortunately, you're still going to have to wash the dishes, okay? But that doesn't mean that things that you're forcing yourself to do, like if you have a job that you're forcing yourself to go to every day for a paycheck, I am sure that there will be a different job that you enjoy doing more that will still give you a paycheck and will still give you time, energy, and patience to do the other things that you want to do without feeling drained, exhausted, and unhappy. Undergoing transformation isn't an overnight thing, and that's okay. Giving yourself time to actually live the journey, be a part of the journey, will will make it feel more authentic to you at the end of the transformation, rather than trying to rush yourself into something that's probably not going to feel like you've actually changed at the end of it. Give yourself time. Give yourself reassurance that you are getting where you want to be, even if it's taking you however long it's taking you. No one ever said we needed to be doing this by this age, doing that by that age. No, there's no rule book for that for a reason. So take a deep breath. Trust yourself and the choices you make. And be more aware of how you feel when you are making choices. Because that might also be a thing. You might just be making decisions without intention. And maybe something you need to start focusing on is being more intentional about what you're choosing to do, what you're choosing to think, and how you're choosing to behave. All right? But I am going to leave your message here today. I hope this is what you needed. This wasn't meant to be I want to say I wasn't meant to be reprimanding. Like that's never my goal. I always want to be honest with you, and I feel like sometimes I have to be a little more assertive in these messages because you deserve to be the happiest, best, and most you that you can be. And there's a reason why you came to my message today and connected with it. So I hope that this is a message of reassurance and validation that no matter where you are on your journey, you are still getting and making your way there. Okay? So I hope that you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and that this message is what you needed today. Like this video if you liked it, comment down below if there was anything that was specific for you, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.